So as most of you have probably seen by now, the Batman Part 2 got delayed once again to the year 2027 again. I think we're going to get some old-ass Batman Beyond story at this rate, because by the time Robert Pattinson either gets to this movie or the third one, he's probably going to be about 68 years old, and that's not even a joke at this point, because goddamn, I would say, like, what the hell is happening, but I feel like deep down inside, I've got a theory, and this theory comes from a ton of different leaks and a ton of different information out there that is pretty reliable, and I think it's something that I personally didn't think would happen about a year or so ago, but I think it is coming very, very more likely as the days go on, and that is that Robert Pattinson's Batman will be joining James Gunn's DCU, and why this means that the Batman Part 2's, was actually delayed is because I believe they are currently reworking the script and doing a ton of different things to introduce certain elements into it, which would, of course, make it so it is in James Gunn's DCU. Again, we know that Matt Reeves historically has been very slow with making his films, but he has never been this slow. And of course, there are a ton of other different things to suggest this. Again, John Campea, the man who of course leaked Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home, did actually say on his channel that he can reveal that Matt Reeves is going to have a massive influence in the interworkings of DC in the future, and that will probably be getting announced in 2025. Again, we already saw a little sneak peek of this when it was revealed that Matt Reeves will also be producing the Clayface movie in the DCU. So I just think that the next step is probably going to be that we're going to be getting Matt Reeves as the Batman in the DCU. And again, I was one who never thought they were going to do this, but after the time has just gone on and a bunch of other different YouTubers, leaks, and news information is convincing me otherwise, I feel like it's only a matter of time now. And we even saw Andy Muschietti did say that his Brave and the Bold film has been delayed and that he will be working on another film before it, because he really doesn't know when he's going to be working on it or when it's going to be happening. So even the director of that Batman movie that's supposed to be coming is super unclear what's going on. And he, I think, probably knows that this movie, if it does ever happen, is going to be a long way away. And if it does happen, it may not even be a Brave and the Bold movie anymore. It may be literally a repurposed project that he might be directing, because Matt Reeves will, of course, now be directing the Batman movies in the DCU. I literally wouldn't even be surprised if that were to happen. Again, I was one for so long who said that James Gunn should not put Robert Pattinson's Batman in the DCU. But I think as the time is going on, there's just so much things that are convincing me that this is going to happen. Not just the script being delayed, Matt Reeves having a much more bigger overall influence in DC now, but also the fact that this is what everyone is legitimately asking for. There's also people who have said that at the end of the day, it probably doesn't make sense for Robert Pattinson to be in the same world as what Superman is fighting a dragon, which we literally saw in the teaser trailer. But in saying that, the Batman hasn't gone full complete grounded where it's super unrealistic to see absolutely anything. Again, they can definitely dial this up a notch in the next movie by going more fantastical and having Mr. Freeze as the main villain. Literally a villain who freezes people with an ice gun and has his wife like cryogenically frozen so he can work on getting a cure for her. Literally so many fantastical things in the character of Mr. Freeze, and I think that introducing him as like the main villain, even though Court of Owls and Hush sound really cool, but having him as the main villain of the Batman Part 2 not only makes probably more sense financially, but if you're going to have him in the DCU, having that would work. You've also got Robert Pattinson being a similar age frame to David Corenswet's Superman. Pattinson also being kind of old enough where it does seem like he could also have a son if they did want to introduce a Damian Wayne into the film, which they literally could have that as part of the story. They could really do like a Brave and the Bold, Heart of Ice crossover type thing, or even just leave that for the third one. I really don't know. The only thing that's fully stopping me now from saying that the Batman Part 2 is probably going to be a DCU film is the fact that technically the Batman Part 2 will take place probably in 2022, while it looks like Superman and all these films are going to take place in like 2025 and onwards. So that is a little bit of a like, how is that going to work like time-wise? But they can definitely work that out, and that's probably what they're doing with the script, and that's why it's taking so long. Again, I would assume if this John Campea theory is correct and that Matt Reeves is going to have a massive involvement in the DCU, how that all works, I would assume him and James Gunn are currently writing and figuring out ways with the rest of the continuity on how this Batman can somehow fit into this overall story. So I think that is the real reason why the Batman Part 2 has been delayed. I think they are probably completely rewriting a lot of the script, maybe having some more fantastical elements. They could be introducing Damian Wayne. Literally so many different things they could be doing in this, either new script or a bunch of rewrites with it. I'm not exactly too sure, but again, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think Robert Pattinson's Batman will be joining the DCU, or do you think James Gunn will stick to his word and keep him to his own universe and get a new Batman? Again, I'd very much like to know. Of course, subscribe to this channel, which is my gaming, my sports channel, my IRL/long channels. We'll all be getting linked down below, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.